5 minutes after 9 o'clock, it is time for Jim George. That is supposedly the sound of science right there.
Yep.
The sound of science.
Rain on a tin roof.
Jim is here to answer your questions and to chat with us about technology in general. He's the owner of American Cable Services, and your calls are part of the show. So go ahead and call anytime you feel free, when you want to do it. 622-9622. We'll answer the phone. Say, how you doing?
Good morning.
How are you doing, Jim?
Good, thank you. I'm hearing your voice. I think you're doing a little better, right?
A little better today than yesterday.
Yeah, it was bad.
So you sent me a link to Horse TV.
Horse TV.
And they have a horse. Let's see, Horse Network.
Yeah,
Horse News
TV.
Network, or HNN.
Yep. And we're going to start carrying that on our cable system.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week of just horse news.
And if you look at the link, if you explore it a little bit, it'll say who they're affiliated with, and it's a national thoroughbred. They've got like every association I've ever heard of about horses that they're affiliated with.
Yeah.
And they've got hundreds of hours of canned videos of training a horse or horse riding. And then they have 2 or 3 world famous vets. They say these guys, that's all they do is work on horses. And they have hour shows.
Wow.
So,
Nice.
if someone in Ocala and wanted to know more about horses, they could just turn to that channel, and there it is.
I think the word network is used now in a different way than it once was used.
Yeah.
I mean, the word network used to mean there's lots of stations carrying one same thing.
Yeah.
But now you can have one station, quote unquote, that's really on the cable, and it's reaching a lot of homes, but it's really not a network. It's really one station or one outlet.
Standalone. Yep.
Even CNN really isn't a network. It's cable news network. There's a lot. Well, maybe it is because they've got affiliates.
Yeah, they have affiliates all over the
in
world.
their case. So does the Horse News Network have affiliates?
Yeah, they have. If you like I said, if you go to their site, like Who We Are and About Us and such, you'll see all the things they have. They have European places there also where they're getting all their info. Now they're not launched yet. They're not on TV yet. And so we will be the first cable company that carry them.
So what was I looking at on that? I was looking at the videos. Where are those being seen? Just online?
Online right now.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, they've got very, very professional bumpers, but then the set is actually looking a little bit like it needs somebody who knows how to make a set. I mean, it was just like a desk with a guy with a picture of a horse behind him. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a new startup company. But think about it. What have we been saying all along? With IPTV, if you have an idea for a channel, the Larry and Robin channel, and you wanted to sit there and sing your songs and talk about how to write songs and how if you change this chorus from a G to an F, all that. I mean, what I'm saying to you is, you have a channel. 24 hours a day.
And who's watching it? Me?
And if you only had 5 hours of recorded it, you put it into a server and it repeats itself.
Oh, man.
So any time of the day, I can log on to the TV channel.
That's what we do when we're busking. We just repeat the same songs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
3 hours worth.
But, there could be the sewing channel, the knitting channel, how to tie your shoe channel, whatever channel you want.
Wow. Mm-hmm. See, that's even stretching it. But I can imagine we'll see things like that, though.
Right. And think about the cost to enter TV now. Used to be you had to have satellite time. That was $500,000 a month.
Wow. Really?
And for satellite time.
Wow.
Like CNN, that's what they pay.
Wow. That's
$500,000 a month. But now HBO just announced they're going to start doing HBO through the internet. So now you can subscribe to HBO directly online and get it straight to your internet.
So they took your idea.
Yeah, anybody can do it. It's just that simple. I mean, even the big boys are now doing it.
Yeah.
So you come up with an idea of a channel you think you'd like to have, and you create it, and then you go out and get advertisers help you support it because you're going to have background, videos and servers, and there you go. And you know how much a server weighs.
No, I do. I know how much it weighs, yes. Jim gave Doug some.
Yeah.
I helped move them.
So what kind of filming criteria will people need, though, when they actually film the shows? Is there special parameters that they need to know while they're filming?
It can be as simple as what we have here. You've heard of Wayne's World, right? It's Wayne's World. It's Wayne's. Okay, well, that was just a little video camera, and that was a TV channel.
Okay, so there's no real parameters
No,
then, like when
you
you
can
put
do
it
it
on the
as
regular
professional as you
television.
want or as cheap as you want.
Well, if it's entertaining, people will watch it. So what's amazing here is the little camera that's recording you right now is not the best little camera.
Right.
But some shows, depending on what we're talking about, on YouTube get, a number of hits. Others, get
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Right.
Some get thousands. It's just a matter of what's interesting to those people out there.
Well, a lot of people have ideas about what they like to see on TV. When Farnsworth invented it, his idea was education. You could teach the masses, and they could stay home. Of course, now you learn nothing from TV. Basically, it's all it's pushed on you. It's what they want to show you, whether it's an advertisement or whatever. But there are some channels that are very educational.
Yeah.
And if you look, you'll see a little E/I, entertainment/institutional or instructional.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's a channel that has been not financed but approved by the National Boards of Education for children. So PBS no longer has exclusive rights to those kind of programs. Everybody is doing an educational. So like I said, you could create how to start a radio station. And start from scratch. This is you need to get height on your tower. You need to get an antenna that broadcasts either omnidirectional or you just start and then somebody's going to look at that and say, I can do that. I can start a radio station.
Sure.
This guy has walked me right through how to do it, like how to change your brakes. You go on. I was telling one of the guys in my office I need to have my rear brakes fixed. He said, do it yourself. He asked me what year my car was, what make it was, went online, and there was a video. And here's a guy from scratch taking off the tire, showing you step by step how to do it.
But they all often make it look easy. It's like those guys who fix furniture.
Oh, yeah.
Just hammer in the wood and put a little glue. Look how nice it looks.
Well, when someone does have that channel, like the Horse News Network, 24 hours a day, do you instruct them how to get the word out? Because it's one thing to create something and then put it up on a channel, but if nobody knows about it, nobody's going to see it. So how do you instruct people to advertise that they actually have this channel?
Well, in our case, since we have the capability of interrupting a channel, you might say, putting a crawl line on it, I could take any kind of educational channel, PBS or whatever, and even though you're watching Sesame Street, let's say, across the bottom would say Horse TV, channel 197, tune in today or something. In other words, I can help promote it on another channel that you're watching. Oh. But you're right, they're going to have to, for Ocala, they're going to have to get with the Chamber of Commerce and everybody and say, hey, let's do something. Let's do some filming in Ocala. So people in Ocala want to see themselves. Everybody wants to see themselves on TV. I've heard. I'm not positive I want to see myself on TV. Yeah.
Everybody's different. Here's what I've observed. Like some people will, if you talk about them, then they will immediately change the subject to somebody else.
Yeah.
Other people, you talk about somebody else, they'll immediately switch it to them somehow. Yeah. Robin is the person who will take, if you start complimenting her, next thing you know, she's complimenting me or you or somebody else. Yeah, she'll turn it around.
So what goes around comes around.
By the way, have you ever seen the comedians in cars getting coffee from Jerry Seinfeld? Well, it's fun to watch.
Is it funny? Okay.
It's fun. It's funner than funny.
Because I never thought of Seinfeld as being funny. It was just kind of like when they said, "What's the show about?" and they said nothing.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
It's about nothing.
Yeah, it's about nothing.
So I'd watch it for like 3 minutes and go, "What is this? What am I doing here?" And I'd change it. Yeah.
But the idea behind it of just simply taking some cameras with you on the road and having a chat with somebody, an interview with somebody.
Yeah.
I like that idea, and I wouldn't mind copycatting that idea. In a way, just find some. Like instead of sitting here in the studio with you, I go to your house and we go out to McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah, Brigham Young University, BYU, has a program on. It's an hour show, and I wish I could remember the name right this second. I can't. But what they do is they take a map of a city. Let's say it's Ocala, and they go walk up to a person on the street, and they give them a pin, and they say, close your eyes and put this anywhere you want to. So they put a pin in it,
right?
And it says, okay, 14th Street. And then they send their crew out to 14th Street, and they knock on doors. and they say, we're here, we're a filming crew, and we know you must have a life story you'd like to tell the world.
Oh, wow.
And some people turn them away and say, no, some publicity stunt or whatever. They say, no, and people get invited in, and then you hear the best stories about how they met their husbands or wives.
Yeah.
Unbelievable stories. Unbelievable.
Everybody, it's amazing. When I was activities director at a local assisted living facility, I decided to put together a little newsletter, and I wanted to feature all the brushes with fame, as David Letterman used to call them, from the people who work there. So I would go to everybody and say, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a brush with fame? Well, what is that? Well, that's when you meet somebody famous, or you knew somebody famous, or you did something with something famous. And it was amazing. One lady was a childhood neighbor of the guy who started Motown. I can't remember his name now.
I can't remember.
Another lady was dating a guy when she was in the service who had access to the space shuttle and actually took her up into the space shuttle, not flying, but just to sit inside of it. Yeah.
Oh.
Another guy played guitar for Donna Fargo. Is that her name? Anyway, it was just interesting. People,
You're right.
People
Absolutely.
know. Like, for example, I would ask you, have you ever had a brush with fame?
Yeah, I've met a lot of famous people, of course, like Farnsworth. I have a picture of me with the inventor of the television set. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, how far? When was that?
Oh, about 40 years ago. I was at a convention, and he was there, and I was talking to him. And of course, we didn't have selfies back then, but the photographer was taking pictures. And took a picture of me. I have a picture of myself with George Bush. I've been invited to the White House.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You were at the White House.
I was at the White House.
What did you do? Did you eat there?
I did eat there. Yep. It was. They were talking about technology, and they were inviting people to come up, and it was about myself and about maybe 50 other people, and we had like a rose garden thing.
And who was the president at the time?
Bush.
Oh, Bush. That's right. You said that. The first or second?
The second.
So did you eat? Was he at the table with you?
Not at the table. It was set up in tables. There was the front table, of course. That's where he was, and Cheney was, and those guys. And then, since I was from Florida, at my table was the Florida representative at the time. State representative.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you had a photo op?
I do. And I have a video. They took videos of us, too. Came around to the table.
Did you speak? Did you get to speak?
I got to speak for 2 minutes. They asked us to speak for 2 minutes about what it is we do in technology and how we would like to help the government move forward with technology.
Oh, that's
and that
cool.
kind of thing. And then they chose certain people to be on a committee board, and I wasn't one of them. And I was really kind of glad because at the time you had to go to Washington, D.C., and you can't get around Washington, D.C. And I didn't want to drive to Washington, D.C. I didn't want to fly to Washington, D.C. So when they didn't choose me, I did not complain.
Well, that was fascinating. I mean, you see what happens.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Everybody probably has something similar like that.
They do.
To tell.
They do.
All right, we will take a little break. We'll be right back with Jim George. If you'd like to call into the show, the number is 622-9622.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A pleasant day today with sunshine and low humidity, the high 80 to 84. And tonight will be clear and comfortable, lows ranging from the mid to upper 50s in a few inland spots to 62 along the coast. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow and pleasantly warm in the afternoon, the high 82 to 86. And for Sunday, pleasant with a full day of sunshine, the high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services, when your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements. From damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Your home is safe. Or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Your weekends are getting a little retool.
Swear to God, not making a joke.
Check this out. New shows? Check. Some new talent? Check. Let's welcome the guys.
Let's get it going.
Arnie Spanier.
Unbelievable.
TJ Reeves.
This is what you get.
Your weekends are on fire. Because that's how exotic it is.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source. WOCA.
All right, 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, we're having a fascinating off-the-air conversation about famous people that we've met. It's kind of a different vein of conversation that we normally have with you. So you went out with Leslie Gore?
I did.
You dated
several
her?
times. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 and 4 times.
Wow. Did she dump you? You dump her, or just?
Well, no, I was in the military, and she was, of course.
Oh, okay.
You know, and I went to Vietnam. Spent 14 months in Vietnam, and when I came back, we corresponded. You know, but she had a boyfriend and all. She was just being kind to a service guy. You know.
Nice.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Nice to be kind.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier. They want to go out to dinner at 10 p.m. Man, 10 p.m. in the military, I'm in bed 2 hours by 10 p.m.
Right.
Because we get up very early in the morning. I mean, when they say sunrise, they really mean 2 hours before sunrise.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my goodness. And exercise, I mean, I was in great shape then. I couldn't do anything that the military would require now today. Very, very tough. You have a lot of respect for the guys that are in the military today. They volunteer to get hurt. I mean, you hurt.
Yeah,
every joint in your body hurts. Every muscle hurts. You hurt.
Yeah.
They push you to the extreme. But getting back to technology, like we were saying earlier, if you have an idea, and the idea is to create a radio channel like Doug wants to do,
right.
or a TV channel, you can do it.
People are doing it already.
Low budget.
Yeah, people are doing like YouTube channels as TV channels. Which is, I guess, the cheapest
so
way
what
to
if
do
you what if you bought a camera? Let's say the camera was $5,000, and it was a high def camera, but it also could do 4K. That's the new, it's 4 times high def. Okay, and you went to every one of these horse places, and you interviewed the owner, and you talk about the horses they have. Well, they might have 2 and 3 famous horses, so maybe a half hour for each horse, that differently, and about how they demuck the stalls or whatever it is they do differently than somebody else, right? Well, and about maybe let's say if you did that one a day, how many horse farms do you think we really have? 20, 50, 100?
I don't know.
We probably quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few. So that's a whole channel right there. And then people in other parts of the world would love to know about the Ocala horses.
So getting back to the horse news network that you sent me the link to, the people who follow you, the horse sense people, they probably would love to know about that.
Yes.
And maybe they even know about it. Maybe they're already on it. Where's that coming from?
817. I think it's New York or California. I think it's California.
Okay.
California.
All right.
And is that something that a person would, if they wanted to do their own network for 24-hour programming, can they do it once a week, or do they have to do it every day?
They can do it once a week. Yeah, you could have a channel that's only on, like your channel. Let's say you're on from 7 to noon, Monday through Friday. Mm-hmm. And that's the only time you're on. So what will happen is we would either replay it, over and over, so people who missed it in the early morning can watch it late at night.
Right.
Or we would make it part of another channel, call it the local Ocala channel, and you're on from 7 to noon, and somebody else is on from noon to
Well, where's My Ocala TV? Where is that seen? I've seen the ad for that, and
I think it's strictly on the internet.
That's on the internet.
I think it's strictly on the internet.
I gotta watch that. Just Stacy's on that.
Yeah, Stacey Rollins.
Rollins. Yeah,
she's really a great gal.
She's Ocala's supermodel.
Yeah, she is. She's so
But see, there again, that could be on after you. So you're on from 7 to noon. They're on from noon to 3, whatever, how many hours of video they have. And then the other thing you could do is interview companies that sell equine stuff. I mean, how many businesses do we have that sell equine? There's the Apple place, that sells, and there's all kind of equine places around here.
Cowboy hats.
Then interview furriers, the guys that that do the hoofs and the shoes, I mean, you could have a whole 24-hour-a-day channel of just local horse. Mm-hmm. That's all.
But you have to have a hot female host.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying. I mean,
that's how people turn in.
I mean, they have to wash horses, right? Wash them in bikinis. Come on.
Would it be more cost effective if somebody had a channel 24 hours a day, each day during the week, than as opposed to having one 24 hours a day weekly?
There's no time better than the other. In other words, a network may charge you advertising dollars more if you want prime time as compared to non-prime time.
Right.
But on an internet channel, it's all prime time. Mm-hmm. You tune in when you want to tune in. And let's assume you tune in at 8 at night, but you missed the Larry and Robin show at 7 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Just go to it, click on it, and it replays,
there
right?
It is, yeah.
There it is. So there is no time restraints. There is no better time than another time. And then you start, advertising dollars, because you're going to, I'm going to want my name heard internationally.
Right.
So you say, okay, well, you come on our channel and you give me $1 a day.
Do you know what I don't understand? I know radio pretty much, and I know that the AM signal skips sometimes. Mm-hmm. But the other day we had a call from Nashville. And it was one of these guys who, and this is their hobby, they've got a special kind of a radio.
Yeah.
And he heard us, and he could tell us what he heard, kind of a way to prove that he heard us.
Right.
And of course, I said to him, were you listening on the internet? They said, no, it's my hobby.
Yeah.
I have one of these XYZ receivers. Right. And anyway, so I just thought that was kind of fascinating. I used to, that wasn't really a hobby of mine, but I used to enjoy when I would hear a radio station skipping, from New York or something I was familiar with.
Yeah. And they do that with sideband a lot. Your signal bends and twists as it goes over the horizon. So they get their antenna that's normally mounted horizontally, and then horizontal to the ground, and then they turn it. Yeah. And that's the skip, and they're picking it up on the sideband, the side of the. And it's really interesting technology. But, you never hear about kids anymore wanting to get into technology. They all want to do computers, but they don't really care about ham radio or CB radio or...
That's true,
The other day with you and Galen on CB, that was funny. That was funny.
Those are the catchphrases that they use.
Oh, those truckers, they're so funny. As a matter of fact, we're creating a bunch of channels for the trucking industry. And we're doing that on our own, and we're going to have them at different truck stops. So when a trucker's there, he can talk about trucks.
Right, and that late night show that we have on WOCA called Red Eye Radio, that's used to be geared toward truck drivers, not so much as it once was.
Well, truckers drive at night, that's true, but if you ever driven at night yourself, like I do the all-nighter, I leave at 7 at night and I arrive in Boone, North Carolina at 7 in the morning, the truckers are on the side of the road. I'm the only guy on the road. I'm the only idiot driving all night. All the truckers are parked on the side of the road.
We've only got about a minute and a half, but you do have a phone call. Good morning, you're on there with Jim.
Good morning, Larry, Jim. When I was in the Navy, we were in for updates and stuff. They installed what they called a super heterodyne radio, and they said you could transmit around the world. And the demonstration was they did, and because it went around the world, you could hear your transmission, as you just finished giving it. And yet, when we got into the Mediterranean, we were operating with NATO. Bad storm came up, we couldn't transmit 60 miles.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the technology back then.
Yeah, you couldn't penetrate the ionosphere.
Well,
you had to penetrate that.
Too many raindrops. It was bouncing off the wave tops.
All right, thank you, Sonny. That's fun. That's interesting stuff. I'm a geek in that way, too. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, how do we get a hold of you if we want our cable hooked up?
854-9795.
And how do we get a hold of you if we want to do a TV show on your network?
Same number.
Same number.
One number gets everything.
Do a TV show with Jim. I want to watch it. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. Officials are working to return a Dallas healthcare worker and her husband back to the U.S. from their cruise ship in the Caribbean, according to the State Department.
The person on board the cruise ship right now is an employee here at Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital in Dallas. They did not have direct contact with patient zero, Thomas Eric Duncan, who died of Ebola here last week. However, this person may have handled a lab